Hi, welcome to Home Farm. Today we're going to be looking at autumn power tools to make your autumn gardening cleanup a lot easier. Today we've got Mars behind the camera with a broken foot. Say hi, Mars.
Hi guys.
And I've got a very special guest. I've got Tyler joining me from Charlie's, and you're going to talk us through what power tools we've got in the Stihl range and what we should be excited about.
I am indeed.
So we're starting with this one from Stihl. Tell us what this one is. We are going to be unboxing it and trying it out in a minute.
So that's Stihl's GTA 26, part of their AS battery power system, ideal for all your pruning jobs in your garden.
So brilliant. It looks really small and compact. So is it kind of like a mini chainsaw?
Correct. Yeah, that's essentially what it is. You've got a chain and a bar, exactly like a standard chainsaw here. Obviously it's a lot smaller, but a lot of it's designed like a secateurs really, but it's powered. So slightly bigger branches that maybe a secateurs or you won't be able to cope with. This is the thing just for you.
Wow, so you get quite a lot in this pack. So talk us through what's in here.
So everything you need really, all comes in, as you can see, this lovely little box.
Nice.
Suitable for hanging up in your garage, suitable for, well, easy storage really, in whether it's a house, in your garden shed, in your garage, perfect for it. And then inside, you've got the machine yourself, so the GTA 26, your battery, which slots perfectly inside there.
Wow, that's nice.
You've got your charger, which is tucked in there as well. And then most importantly, you've got your little bottle of multi-bio oil, which you use to lubricate your chain on the GTA 26. Differently to a standard chainsaw, the GTA 26 comes with its own little bottle of oil. On a normal chainsaw or a cordless chainsaw, it comes with its own oil reservoir, so the machine is self-lubricating on the chain. With the GTA 26 being so small, to put an oil reservoir on this machine would just be impossible.
And make it too big, yeah.
Correct.
'Cause it's nice and compact now.
Exactly. So rather than applying a reservoir here, they supply with a bottle of oil. But the most important thing with the oil is frequently using it. So traditionally people like to just go for it, go around their garden and cut all sorts, and then they'll find that the chain's dry or it's making a smelling noise.
Okay.
So ideally, there isn't actually a recommended the amount of time you should put this on, but the more frequent you use it, the better the performance you're going to get and the less risk of damaging the machine.
Yeah, and I think because you can cut up to 4 centimetre
Correct.
thick branches, which is a fairly thick branch.
It is, yeah.
So I would just say if you're going to have a good afternoon session, you know, when you finished, you go to put it away. So just apply a bit of oil, make
Correct,
sure
yeah.
it's clean.
Clean it up, use a little brush on it, and then pop a little oil on it, put the cover back on and put it away.
But really compact and handy. I mean, it's quite a nifty little machine, isn't it?
It is. It is perfect. Perfect for people that perhaps have fed up of using a secateurs or have got some logs or some pruning that they want to do that's perhaps slightly not enough for a proper chainsaw, but too much for secateurs. Just a tool.
So you've cut your branches that are nice and thick and dense with your compact pruner. Now you want to come in and maybe do some topiary bushes or some hedge trimming. Tell us about this one.
So Stihl's HSA 26, in line with the GTA 26. Following the same numbers, runs on the same battery, runs on the same charger.
Oh, so the fact that it's the same battery and the same charger is really handy, so you can interchange them.
Correct.
So what comes in this pack?
So
It's very similar.
same as GTA 26, comes in the same box,
Nice.
comes with the same charger and the same battery, as I explained earlier. Again, same as GTA 26, it goes in the bottom here.
Lovely.
Just like that.
Nice and compact.
Lovely and compact. It's got a nice easy trigger. You've got your accelerator trigger under there and your safety trigger on the top to allow the trigger to work underneath.
Battery bar there.
Battery
so
bar,
see.
indicator. It comes in the box as standard with your, let's call it topiary bush shear.
Yeah.
But
Like a claw.
also comes with your grass blade. Very easy to change, by the way, but we always recommend you take the battery out so you don't touch the trigger. A quick click of the button underneath, pops out. Grab your other blade, pops in there, and away you go.
That's a good point actually, because I don't remove the battery when I do things like that. That's a
it's very
that's
important.
a top tip. Please remove the battery when you do that. It's a very good idea.
Correct. Nice and quiet.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
And it's got a nice sound to it because it's quite it's a sharp sound.
Very sharp.
But it's not the machine that's making the sound, so that's quite nice.
But the trick as well is always to keep the blades clean.
Yeah.
Actively spraying them with a blade cleaner allows the machine then to work efficiently and it puts less strain on the motor.
Okay, so now we're leveling up and getting bigger and more serious. Which one is this one?
So we're going into Stihl's AK battery platform, part of a family of tools. We're starting off here with Stihl's HSA 56. cordless hedge cutter.
So tell us what battery, this comes with the AK10.
Correct. So in the AK range, there's an AK10 battery, there's an AK20 battery, and an AK30, which you've got in your hand.
Right.
And correct, yeah, the HSA 56 comes with an AK10. You can also purchase this as a bare tool only. So if you've previously bought a product from the AK range with batteries and you want to run it on the same battery platform, this will work and you can buy it as a body only. The draw on the power on the motor on a hedge cutter or a hedge trimmer like this is so less compared to something like a blower, where a blower will come with a bigger battery, but the draw of power that the trimmer needs requires it only needs a small battery.
Nice, it's quite quiet. I'm
Indeed.
surprised.
Yeah, again, battery power, the noise compared to a petrol engine is so much less. Doesn't need as much gump, doesn't need as much power to go. So,
Doesn't smell.
Doesn't smell.
I'm all about battery powered tools. They're so much cleaner, so much more mobile. I like them. And again, I can't believe how quiet that is. It's really good. And I've been really impressed with the length of the battery life, just how long they last. They last a really long time, and you can definitely get most gardening jobs done on one battery if it's fully charged. So how long is the blade on this?
18 inches. Traditionally, your sort of petrol machines would be perhaps 24, but for a cordless one, they've gone with an 18. But again, more than ample for doing your standard hedges in all your gardens.
So now you've pruned and trimmed, what's next?
So you've made a mess, now time to clean up. So introducing Stihl's BJA 57.
Nice, that doesn't sound any louder than my hairdryer.
No, again, following on
Perfect.
from the hedge cutter, quiet. You can go around, you're not going to annoy your neighbours. If you are wanting to blow it and it's getting later in the day, no worries, because you're not making a noise.
And it looks quite stylish, I have to say.
Very stylish.
It's a very slick, stylish kind of...
You've got to make them attractive, because a lot of people now like good tools, looking good in their garages, so well, hopefully fits in perfectly with everybody's power tool.
No, it looks very sporty. Another nifty thing is this looks like it kind of extends or something.
So yeah, adjustable tube, so making it a lot easier for you wherever undulations in the ground, if you want to get nearer and you've got some leaves that are perhaps stuck, wetter leaves, you can slide the pipe out and make the job easier for you.
Leaf blowing makes it really efficient.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly what they're designed for, really, to make everybody's lives easier. The only drawback with cordless blowers is they do draw a lot of energy compared to a hedge trimmer, as we spoke about before. The blower does draw a lot of energy, but still, you're still getting 22 minutes worth of power out of this AK20 battery that fits this.
Yeah, and 22 minutes of leaf blowing, you know, you're going to feel it on your arms anyway. So after 22 minutes, you're going to want a cup of tea, so
Correct.
It's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so tell us about this one. It is a little bit muddy because I have already put it to good use. Good. I tried this out yesterday, so I'll give you my thoughts on that, but just tell us about this product.
So moving on from battery powered and cordless equipment, there is still a demand and still a need for mains electric. So introducing Stihl's SHE 71 electric shredder vac.
Or as I called it yesterday, the SHE 71. So in the box, this came with the vacuum attachment and also a leaf blower, so you get like a 2-for-1 almost.
Correct, yeah, so the machine's multi-purpose, whatever job you need it to do, whether you want to blow all the leaves into one area of the garden first and then suck them up, whichever suits. It obviously all depends on the nature of the length of cable you've got. It
worked a treat. It was really, really efficient and it mulched really well. I was very impressed with the mulching on it. It really did shred those leaves really nicely. And I've got to say, to then be able to use that leaf mulch in your garden, stay nice, organic and sustainable, not have to buy mulch. It does great soil conditioning. And I just think that, yeah, I'm all about the leaf mulch this year. It comes with this rather gigantic bag. And that is great because it's got a zip on the end, so it does gather it up really well and you're able to just open the zip. I was putting it into boxes so that I could easily transport that around the garden, but you can just unzip the bag in situ if you're right next to the flower border. Given that we're able to get leaf mulch out of your own garden, I think it's a real winner. Yeah.
So you've come to the end of your autumn cleanup in your garden. You've pruned, you've trimmed your hedges.
You've been very busy.
Very, very busy. But all those little trees you've pruned, twigs have got to go somewhere. So introducing Stihl's GHE 150 garden shredder.
The purpose of a garden shredder is really ideal for medium-sized gardens, large gardens, small holdings, that kind of thing, where you really want to start to minimize your garden waste. So then when you've got your compost heap, you're able to really consistently keep those green and brown layers, which is what you really need in order for your compost to break down nicely. So with between your leaf mulching and then this, which will do your green chipping and shredding, you're really able to get that nice layering going through your compost heap, and it's really going to produce some fantastic soil.
Exactly, Kirsten, perfect really. So Stihl's GHE 150 is an electric garden shredder. It's not the entry-level one. There is a GHE 105, which has got the ability to also take leaves. The GHE 150 has got the ability of taking just twigs. This machine will take up to 35mm diameter twigs through it. So more than capable of taking perfect twigs that you've pruned with your GTA 26.
Yeah, so 35mm, 3.5 centimeters. That's some good sized chunky twigs and branches to get mulched through, which is really nice.
Yeah, and obviously because it's mains electric, it's ideal. You can plug yourself in and you can just keep going. As long as you bring all your twigs and your branches over to where you can work, where you've got access to mains electric, you can just keep going.
And then it just shoots out the bottom, so you can put a chute there, or you can put a bag there. And
correct,
just
yeah, so there is an optional basket that you can purchase as well. It doesn't come as standard with any of the machines, but you can purchase it, so you can blow it all into a basket, so you've got it all tidy, or you can blow it straight onto the floor and put it wherever you want.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Tyler. It's really been interesting seeing all these different power tools that can hopefully make cleaning up our gardens before the winter more efficient, potentially some nice Christmas gifts thrown in there for people to look at. But really nice offering from Stihl, and I think that they all feel really durable. They're all either battery or electric, and a nice exchange of the batteries through the different products.
Thanks for having me. Nice to come up and see you finally. I'm going to leave these tools with you, Kirsten.
Brilliant.
Please have a play, use them, and I look forward to seeing what your feedback is.
Yeah, I think that once Mars is back on his feet, we'll give all of them a good test run, put them all to good use, and we'll let you know what we think of each one. What was your favourite product?
For me, I think the SHE 71 was pretty cool.
I think the fact that it comes with a vacuum and a blower, I just think is brilliant.
A 2-for-1.
It is a 2-for-1, and then that means that in the autumn you can blow those leaves together, you can vacuum them up, you can shred them. But then in the summer, if you're doing other jobs, like for example, if I'm doing a plant pot and I've really spilled an awful lot of soil, I can just get the leaf blower out and just blow that straight back into the flower beds rather than sweeping it. I think that the fact that you get 2 tools for 1 in the same box is brilliant.
And for me, the biggest plus point about that is that I actually thought that it would only be usable on lawn or grass areas. But the fact that we were able to use it on the gravel and it didn't actually suck up the gravel, it only actually collected the leaves, was a big plus point for me, because you're kind of hoping that the gravel doesn't get in there, or the stones, and actually clatter around in the actual blade. So I thought that was really great.
Yes, it is a little bit big for someone of my size. I would love them to maybe make a smaller model. The vacuum is quite long, but it was really just the design of the bag. Though I have to say, you kind of do want it to be that big, because otherwise you'd be emptying it all the time. So I just think they just need to maybe look at the design of how the bag attaches to you and to the machine. But the actual function of it, I really liked.
It did make sense to me, because I did use it briefly the other day, and for my size and for my build, I found it to be very comfortable. So the length of the actual attachment was great. Everything that basically clipped into it, it was very comfortable for me. But it did look awkward on you.
It did.
In terms of you trying to maneuver the bag around and stuff.
Yeah, I think if you're over 6 foot, you're fine.
Yeah.
If you're under, I'm 5'7", so if you're under 5'7", it's just going to be a little bit big. The Stihl leaf blower, I think it's compact. I think it's quite lightweight for a leaf blower, which allows you to use it for a little bit longer. If you just want to get leaves out of flower beds and just off your front doorstep area, this leaf blower is absolutely great for that.
Then we tried out 2 shredders. There were 2 very different units. So the first one basically only does branches,
thick branches,
and it's very effective. It's quite well designed in terms of trying to get the branches in it. It actually shreds them quite finely, which is fantastic.
It does. It almost comes out like a wood chip.
Yeah, and the only issue that we had with the assembly of that is that it comes with 4 screws that we've never seen the attachment to before.
Yeah.
And the tool to actually assemble it does not come in the box.
Yeah.
So this is something that if you are going to purchase this online, or if you have to build it yourself, this is definitely something that you have to raise either with the salesperson or the company that you're buying it online from, to make sure that you can actually get this tool, because there's just no ways of actually getting these screws in with a conventional screwdriver, bolt, nothing. Yeah,
it was the orange bucket bit that sits on top, the feeder bit. That's where you have these 4 strange screws. And if you're actually in the shop and buying it in the shop, if you could actually take it out of the box and actually show the salesperson, look, this is the feeder and these are the 4 screws that have this very bizarre
I've never seen a design of a screw
never
like that before.
seen it before. Yeah, it was a real conundrum.
The other shredder that we used has got the capabilities of actually doing leaves also, as well as branches. I did a fantastic job of actually shredding the leaves and actually making a really nice mulch. There's a little cover on the top, a protective cover so that you don't put your hand in and get stuck in with the blade. You have to kind of force the leaves underneath, and then you kind of have to use a stick or something just to push them through. And it's slow going. So if you've got like a big pile of leaves, as we did when we collected them, it took an absolute eternity to actually get through this.
Then we had the hedge trimmer. This, I think, was one of my favorite.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the leaf mulcher vacuum, love that. But because of the size, so I kind of loved the tool and I love the concept. I wasn't completely crazy about the design.
Okay.
But I would still consider purchasing it, and I would still love it because I do think that you're kind of limited on what options are available on the market for that particular tool at the moment. But the 18-inch. Fantastic. I love that size. I think it's such a versatile size. I think the fact that you can do the size of your hedges, if you've just got a normal hedge, kind of 5-6 foot hedge, it's great. You can go down the sides really nicely. You could do a topiary with it. You can shape things. You can shape your boxwoods with it. It feels super comfortable to use. It's really nice and light, but then it's not too light that you feel like it's going to fly away. It still you feel like you've really got good control over it. There's just so many different uses for it, and I think that it's really worth having in your shed or your garage. The GTA 26 is also a really great nifty little tool, and I really think that this would be coming real handy. I think it's one of those tools that when you originally purchase it, you kind of get excited about and think, okay, seriously, how much am I realistically going to use this? Is it just going to be one of those tools I purchase, use for like a week, and then it ends up in the back of the garage and you never see it again? I think that this is one of those tools that actually ends up being really a lot more handy than you initially think, and that you end up going for a lot of times when you walk into the garage and you kind of turn and look at the loppers and then you look at this and think, oh, I'll just deal with this. The GTA 26 just gets through so many different things. It's really great. Small, medium, large gardens, I think doesn't really matter. I think if you've got anything where you've got branches that you need to trim in the winter, whether it's from trees or big thick shrubs or kind of woody kind of holly, real thick kind of branches, I think it's just really handy. And I think that the difference is for example with a lopper, you kind of have to navigate in with 2 handles and kind of get to something and then trying to get in and cut it. With this, the fact that you've got a spare hand and you can actually push another branch out the way and then just go in and cut through. Really so easy, and I thought it was really great. It does operate like a chainsaw in the fact that it's got a chainsaw chain, and so therefore when it is cutting through, the thicker the branch, the more spray of kind of chips or wood shavings you're going to get. So I would just say if you're going to just do small kind of 1 centimeter kind of branches, I think you'll be fine, but definitely if you start to go up into the 3-4 centimeter thicker branches, really consider wearing glasses. I mean, if you've got normal glasses in, I think you'd be fine. But for me, I don't wear glasses. Goggles. I think safety goggles is a good idea because you just sometimes you just reach in and you just don't think you're going to get that much wood shavings. And if the wind catches it and you end up with an eye full of wood shavings, it's just not very comfortable.
Especially if you're working up above yourself. And the other thing that I think that this tool's very useful for is actually making kindling. So you'd cut quite a lot of little branches that are just perfect kindling size. In the past, we sat there with loppers and having to cut each piece. This made such quick work of it.
I definitely think that it's a nice, really nice gift for someone, especially if you know someone who is an avid gardener.
And I can actually see why Tyler from Charlie's actually said this is one of their top sellers. And you can actually understand why once you actually start using it, it can very easily become an indispensable tool.
The HSA 26, another great product. I really like the fact that it comes in a case. It's very smart. You can keep it all together really easily, hang the case up in your shed or garage. I think that you've got the long blade that I think is for the grass. That was good, but I was really impressed with the other one, the one that's kind of kind of like that. I thought that was really, really good. It was very durable. And I would definitely have a lot of confidence using that on my topiary bushes and my boxwoods. I think all in all, I think they're just all really good, solid products.
And it just goes to show that, you know, you can do the tedious autumn cleaning jobs quite effectively if you've got the right tools.
Yeah, efficiently and comfortably as well.
Yeah.
So I hope you found this video useful and interesting, and I hope it's given you some ideas of the tools available to you, especially in autumn, but really throughout the rest of the year as well.
Very much so.
A huge thank you to Charlie's, Tyler, he's our guy at Charlie's, and a massive thank you to Charlie's for always being there to help us out with these reviews. They really are just such a great team to work with, and it was really fantastic seeing all the different tools that we could get into the autumn video and to just really see all the different products that people could be using.
And you can buy all of these products on their website if you're interested.
As always, we're definitely going to have a lot more of these types of videos coming to you. So stay tuned, please subscribe, please give us a thumbs up and ring the bell, and we hope to see you on our next video. Thanks for watching, take care, happy gardening, bye-bye.